Hello. In today's video, I will talk about the Sun, which is card 19 of the Major Arcana. So, the Sun, the Sun, the Sun. Oh, this card. I think of this card as related to the Buddha family, Ratna, which is about abundance. The element is the earth, the color is yellow or gold, and it is, I often think of it as like the energy of abundance and radiance, and it's like the sun, so it has this generosity. This particular card I think of as related to the wisdom quality of Ratna. And it's, this card's about celebration. It's about like this abundance and this fullness and this like celebration of life, celebration of plenty, celebration of having enough. The irony, you may hear some thunder in the background. The irony of doing this card today is there's a thunderstorm, and here I am doing the card on the sun. So I guess I, in this time of rain, am wanting to celebrate the sun today. You may also hear some hail because we are supposed to be getting hail as well. So if you hear that, that's what's going on in the background. Anyway, this energy, this card, when it's in its upright position, is talking about, you know, this abundance and this richness and this celebration and this fullness. When it's in its reversed position, this card is one of the few that doesn't have like a, you know, almost an opposite effect. It's basically saying that one is not realizing their abundance, one is not realizing this fullness and this richness that they have. And so it's less about not having the richness than just not realizing it's right there. And so maybe ignoring it, or maybe just not even remembering that you have this resource, that you have this, you know, like this beautiful, wonderful, generous resource within you, available to you. Yeah, like in your life, like it's a part of your life, and you're not tapping into that part. This card is very dear to me because it's the card that made this understanding that this deck was more through me than of me come alive in such a major way. On paper, it was a sun with some sunflowers. It went into card format, and it was initially some children dancing in the flowers. That didn't feel quite right. Then the woman that you see appeared, and she was actually on the side of the card where the man is. She felt like she needed someone else to dance with, and so I put her sister there, who was in the position where she is now. Something didn't feel quite right, so I removed the original woman from the card and put a man on the picture. And it felt better, it felt fuller, but there was something still not quite right. And I replaced the woman who at this point was the second woman that I put into the card, and I replaced her with the original woman. I did nothing to the man, and he appeared to smile more brightly, smile more authentically. And I had this feeling in myself like, oh my gosh, like this is really beyond me. And you know, I felt a little bit crazy because, like, how do you say that to someone? Like, I didn't change anything about the man, but I'm telling you, he was happy that I replaced the other woman with this woman. He was, like, not really feeling this, the second woman that I put on the card. And I showed it to one of my sisters, and I showed her the two different versions, and she says to me, I didn't tell her the story, she says to me, he looks like he's fake smiling in the one picture and he's real smiling in the other picture. And I tell you, I changed nothing about him in the image. I just put another woman in the picture and he smiled more genuinely. And so this card, being very, very dear to my heart because it took me through that experience of like, this is beyond you, and the cards are speaking to you. These images they're not your images, they're images that are they're speaking to you, they're speaking through you. And if you can pay attention, it'll tell you what is needed in the card. It'll tell you what's not quite right, or it, like the images were giving me this feedback that I don't think I was so aware of until the sun came into play. And so this card was like, still I'm like, I think about that and I'm like, oh my God, like it was alive. They are alive and they're communicating. And it made me think of how like the world is communicating with us all the time. The universe is communicating with us if we can relax into it and listen. We might be a little, you know, life might be a little easier for us at times. And so, yeah, the sun, very precious card, and a card that really brought home this communication beyond words and beyond animate objects. Like there's something much bigger than our own minds, right? Like there's something much bigger than my own vision of how something should be. And if I can listen, if I can step back and allow what needs to happen, then there's so much more available to us. And so I guess remembering this abundance, remembering that the cards are actually speaking to me, that it's not me that's creating them, we are co-creating, we are like helping this project to emerge together. And so this card was the card that reminded me of that, that showed me the truth of that. So yeah, I feel like I don't know what else to say other than that. I know for some this might be a little bit spooky, but it's just the truth of how this card came alive and the truth of how this deck kind of emerged and came alive. And so, yeah, that's the sun. The next card is, what card is the next card? Judgment will be the next card. And I look forward to sharing that video with you soon. And thank you.